In a distant valley known as the Valley of Elah, two armies confronted each other. On one side were the Philistines, a fearsome warrior people, and on the other, the Israelites, led by King Saul. Fear paralyzed the Israelites as a Philistine giant named Goliath challenged them daily, mocking them and demanding a champion for single combat. The victor of the combat would decide the fate of the two nations. But Goliath was terrifying. He was nearly 3 meters tall, wore extremely heavy bronze armor, and carried a spear whose head was like a weaver's beam. No Israelite soldier, no matter how brave, dared to face him. In a small town, Bethlehem, lived a young shepherd named David. He was the youngest son of Jesse and was sent to the battlefield to bring provisions to his older brothers, who were serving in Saul's army. Upon arriving, David heard Goliath's taunts and felt a deep indignation. Seeing the soldiers' discouragement and the giant's audacity, David wondered, "Who is this uncircumcised Philistine that he should defy the armies of the living God?" He felt the courage in his heart to face the giant, even though he was just a young shepherd with no armor or military experience. News of David's audacity reached the ears of King Saul, who summoned him. Saul, surprised by the young man's determination, tried to dissuade him, even offering his own armor. However, David refused, as he was not accustomed to it and preferred to rely on the skills God had given him as a shepherd. David then went to a stream, picked up 5 smooth stones, and put them in his shepherd's pouch. With his staff in his hand and his sling prepared, he walked confidently toward Goliath, while the giant descended from the other side to meet him, mocking him even more upon seeing the young, unarmed figure. "Come to me, and I will give your flesh to the birds of the air and the beasts of the field," Goliath roared. But David replied with firmness, "You come to me with a sword, with a spear, and with a javelin, but I come to you in the name of the Lord of hosts, the God of the armies of Israel, whom you have defied." With these words, David quickly ran toward the giant. He took one of the stones from his pouch, put it in his sling, and whirling it with all his strength, threw it. The stone flew true and struck Goliath's forehead, and he fell to the ground lifeless. When the Philistines saw their champion fall, panic took hold of them, and they fled in disarray. The Israelites, filled with renewed courage, pursued them and achieved a great victory that day. David, the young shepherd, had become a hero, showing that faith and courage can overcome any obstacle, no matter how great it may seem.